Thursday night. And what's extra weird is that this system is $1,000.
Why are we acting as if the $600 model don't exist? I understand that $1,000 might be a little too much for somebody, but come on, man, $600 for this type of piece of hardware, and you people out here complaining. I mean, didn't you spend like $500 on the Switch too, and you still paying for online when you ain't got to do this with the Xbox handheld? Bro, come on, what are we doing, man? Y'all so fixated on $1,000 narrative because you know why? You're trying to do everything in your power to make the handheld look bad. You know, that's like saying the PlayStation 5 is trash because you're spending $800 for that when you can go buy one for $400. I'm just saying, man, because if we're taking the premium product of something and using that to push a narrative, well, the same thing can also apply the other way around, too.
The original leaked price, it looked like it was going around, was that it could be $900.
Which I would have preferred because who wants to spend more for the same product? Nobody's arguing that. My point still stands is the fact that you people are being hypocrites. Y'all want to go as far to say that, oh, this 600, I mean, they're going as far to say that even the $600 handheld is not worth it. Now, if you're not willing to pay $1,000, well, I'm kind of surprised that you guys aren't, considering that you bought PS5s for $1,000 at launch, but I digress.
When they jacked up the price of the Xbox consoles, I guess they decided to do it to this one as well. But I want to talk about this because...
But hold on, but it's not an Xbox. It's a PC handheld. That's what you guys said. So why is Microsoft getting flagged for this, right? Oh! Now all of a sudden it's an Xbox console. Hold on, let's hear that again.
So it could be $900. Maybe when they jacked up the price of the Xbox consoles, I guess they decided to do it to this one as well. But I want to...
So the Xbox Ally is a console then? Because you told everybody that it was an Xbox. It's just a ROG Ally with the Xbox on it, and all of a sudden it's an Xbox console. You see? This is jealousy and envy, bro. They're just mad because they don't even have a portable where they can play their... Oh, I mean, they do. It's called the PlayStation Portable. Who wants to play their games on that? They paid $200 just to stream their games, and they got to still keep their PS5 on to play it.
Talk about this because, to be honest, it seems like even a lot of the most diehard Xbox fans, the people that actually like Team Green, that are excited about how much there's been coming to Game Pass, how much cool stuff they like about the Xbox and collecting achievements and stuff, it seems like even Xbox fans are saying, how in the world would I possibly want to buy a thing that is so dang overpriced and doesn't play Xbox games? Let's get into it.
I mean, it plays South of Midnight, Gears Reloaded. I mean, it plays a lot of Xbox games. What are we doing, bro? What?
Actually, I'm a bit annoyed. I hope you're having a great day. And if you could, please, you're going to have to bury these in the landfill where they put those ET games. Look at this. You can get an original ROG Ally, which is about $500 and is only about 20% weaker. So literally...
So, hold on. It's 20% weaker. You understand that is a pretty big margin, especially if we're talking about in regards to portable gaming. It's so funny that you got these people out here pocket watching where people want to pick up and play their video games. It's 20% weaker, costing $100 more. Hold on. And it has 120 FPS screen. And it has 512. You know what? Let me keep saving that because I'm going to use that towards the end of this video. But go ahead.
Literally every single comment. Microsoft is drunk. Nope. Everybody is like, brother, what the heck? That's a legitimately terrible price of the base model. The chips are just not good. They're basically identical to a Steam Deck, which is literally half the price. Now, the way this works is that there is a more powerful version and a less powerful version. Obviously, it's very much an Xbox-branded device. They've really been pushing the idea.
Oh, but before it was just a PC handheld, you know, Xbox had no involvement. All of a sudden, it's an Xbox. Hold on, what? You see how fast they changed these narratives, bro? At one point, I thought it was just a PC handheld. Now it's an Xbox console, and now it's Xbox branded, even though we knew this from the very beginning. But okay.
Play anywhere is the future. Buy stuff in the Xbox store and play it anywhere. But the thing is that, honestly, this device, for the power, the craftsmanship, I feel like this is becoming the big problem, is that, honestly, I think when it comes to portability, the handheld console wars... Low price is going to win. I'm still standing on that. I do think that this...
Hold on. What do you mean by low price? What do you talk about? Because if you want to be comparable, I don't know how we're comparing the Steam Deck. I think they're both good handhelds. I'm not here to bash a handheld. That's not what I'm here to do, guys. Because at the end of the day, I have much respect for the Steam Deck. But I'm getting tired of these PlayStation fanboys using this as a crutch to bash the Xbox handheld because it has a sticker or logo or controller configuration of a platform they hate. You know what I mean? We're going to keep things legitimate here. Okay, it has the same Wi-Fi on the Xbox. What do you mean? The Xbox handheld has 1080p. On the handheld, that's about 720, right? 90 hertz refresh rate. I see that. It's 120 on the Xbox handheld. That's kind of funny how you're not telling these people that. And you want to sit there and complain about the price, 512 gigabytes, right? 20% stronger than what you're getting with the. Yeah, like GameStop. I make it awfully too easy. I make it even if you want to argue that the white model has the same power as the Steam, it doesn't even matter. It has a better screen. It goes up to 120 frames. It offers very much a lot of the similar things here. I think it even has a better battery, if I'm not mistaken. Like I said, I personally don't care this much, guys. Okay, and 512 gigabytes of space, which is reasonable in comparison to Xboxes, which is at $600 with the Xbox configuration. I mean, obviously one of the best controllers in gaming. I mean, some people would see that $60 would be $50 would be well worth upgrading to that instead. What did you think? Oh no, but it's Eba. Nobody wanted Eba. Okay, I get it.
People get broker and broker and broker.
Oh really?
Nobody wants to pay.
Weren't you the same dude that called people broke because they couldn't afford these things? And you think you have the audacity to make a video like that, complaining about high expensive prices when you out here ripped off your girlfriend to get a Pro?
3 times the price of a Steam Deck, right?
Because if you compare it to the one that hold on. See, you see how they be trying to mislead people? Listen, you're not gonna do that to me. First off, that is 256 gigabytes. That is 256. Matter of fact, it even has a worse Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi 5, which is worse. The new Xbox has Wi-Fi 6, very similar. You have to compare it with the OLED. You can't compare with that model. You got to compare it with the one at 512 gigabytes, the higher 90 refresh rate, not 60, because the other Xbox has 120. Bro, you guys are being so condescending and hating on this Xbox handheld, and I find it quite funny. Even in the white model, it might not be as powerful as the black one, but even in the white model, you could say that the Steam Deck in that version are very similar, right? What are we arguing? And yet that one is still priced at $550. Xbox handheld, which is more customizable with the Xbox controller layout, whatever the case is at $600 with a better Wi-Fi, better screen. Bro, what are we doing, bro? Even a better refresh rate on the screen.
Put the Steam Deck on sale for $320. This is the version that used to cost $500 just a couple of years back.
It cost. And you was out here bashing this Xbox handheld. That cost $500 back then. And you was out here bashing the Xbox hand. You know why they don't bring up the white one? You know why they don't bring it up, guys? Because they understand that the white one is actually still a very much good piece of hardware. That's why. That's why they don't bring it up. They want to focus on that $1,000, fear mongering. If you can't afford it, buy the white one. It's that simple, bro. Because at the end of the day, you can keep damage control and defending the Steam Deck all you want, which I also think is a good piece of hardware. But at the same time, the Xbox handheld is better. It has 120 FPS. We're just going based off it. A higher resolution, has the same Wi-Fi capability. I think the battery is better. Don't take my word for it. Go look at the specs for yourself. Just look at the specs for yourself, guys. And this is a much older hardware. What Xbox is providing is new. And on top of that, with the best controller of gaming, the Xbox controller layout. What?
Times the price of a Steam Deck, right? They currently put the Steam Deck on sale for
$256 gigabytes, bro. What do you don't understand? The Xbox handheld has 500. It's like if you're gonna compare it to something that's at 512 gigabytes. At least do that, which we can clearly see that is $550.
$20. This is the version that used to cost $500 just a couple of years back. Think about that. This thing is 20% more powerful than a Steam Deck for 3 times the price.
And it's even more power. Bruh. Wow, what are we doing, guys? What are we doing? It's bruh, unless you're talking about the black one. Maybe he's talking about the black. I don't know. I really don't care at this point. Maybe people are going to say, oh, the white one is not a strong game, so the black one is, but the white one isn't. But regardless, the white one would still be on par with what you're getting with the Steam Deck, which would also mean that it's worth the value considering the better screen, the controller configuration, the Wi-Fi, and 120 FPS refresh rate. You're still not going to win that argument from me. Yeah, you won't.
Last night, I was actually hanging out with some friends. We were having a pizza party and stuff, and while we were eating pizzas, we were talking about the Steam Deck because all of us, there was 4 of us there, and all of us were talking about the fact that we all had a Steam Deck. We all had a Steam Deck dock. We all had a dedicated controller for a Steam Deck. And we were talking about the fact
which are all things you have to pay for, which would also be additional to the cost.
It's awesome. You know, we're not playing big AAA games, but we're playing indies. We're playing Disco Elysium or Ballad.
And maybe people want to play bigger and demanding games. That's you. That's you. That's you. Mr. I pick up or rob my girlfriend for PS5 Pro to get a worse version of a game. That's you, though. Some people want to see a little bit more lighting in their game. I want to see the illumination, whatever they be talking about, global illumination. Like, bruh, you have a lot of nerve making a video like this, man. I'm going to tell you.
For Vampire Survivors with crazy good battery life. I do think that when it comes to the handheld console wars, which I do
the
think
Steam Deck is not a console. What are you talking about? What, bro? What are we doing? Is the Xbox handheld a console or is it not? You ponies keep changing the narrative. What are you talking about, bro? You sound stupid. Let me hear this.
We're playing indies. We're playing Disco Elysium or Ballad.
But that's you. Some people want to play Gears. Some people want to play more demanding games, bro. How hard is that for you to understand?
Survivors with crazy good battery life. I do think that when it comes to the handheld console wars...
So you're calling the Steam Deck, you just said it, a handheld console. You're calling the Steam Deck what? What? Bruh.
Which I do think is coming up. Low price is what people are going to be talking about. If your options are a $500 Nintendo Switch 2 or something like a $600 portable PlayStation 6, which is one of the things they're talking about, or a lower-end device that still has good games but doesn't cost you an arm and a leg, I do think this is going to be at least an advantage. But no way is anybody in the world to get this. And I've said this before, they need to find a way to cut costs to the consumer. Not on the
they have told people that they're not subsidizing anything. And I can see PlayStation doing something very similar. They're preparing you guys for these $1,000 consoles, man. They're already throwing it in your faces, man. And there's one thing we know about Xbox. They're always the first to do something. They're always the first, and everybody just follows suits. So the fact that Microsoft is doing it is more of a reason that Sony is going to start pricing their products up to Wazoo 2.
And not on the developer end, not more layoffs. I do think that we're about to hit an absolute wall. These devices are not only not going to sell, I think whatever becomes the lowest common denominator, I do think that more people are going to be gaming garbage games on their phone or playing really crappy old stuff on the Nintendo Switch 1.
Or cloud games. What is it called? Cloud. You see, y'all not getting it. Y'all still not getting it. You're like, what do you mean games? They don't care. They don't care. This is what you people don't understand. None of these companies care. I've told people when they were like, oh, I'm not buying it. Nintendo don't care. You're still giving them money for Switch 1 for inferior hardware. If you choose not to buy it, I'm not justifying it, guys, but if you're choosing not to buy the Switch 2 and you're saying, I'm boycotting you, Nintendo, I'm boycotting you, how are you got to think to yourself, how are you boycotting Nintendo if you're buying Metroid Prime for Switch 1? How are you boycotting Nintendo if you're buying the new Pokemon on Switch 1? You big dummy. Y'all like, damn, Gamester. Damn, that hurt right in the feelings, right? You're stupid. They don't care if you get the next hardware. You're still giving them your money. I'm not paying all that money for Nintendo Online on Switch 2. We'll get the inferior version on Switch 1 and still pay the same money for a feature that you can't access because they gatekeeped it to the Switch 2. You're like, oh, snap, Gamester. Now I see what you're talking about. You think they honestly care? They don't give a damn. Because you know why? The hardware is not the reason why they're getting that money. Not even it is that subscription service is where they're getting that money. That's where the money's at. Not subscription with games or whatever. But you get my point. Push through subscription. That's where the money's at. Not just selling games, not just selling hardware. The subscription. The only reason why they want to push more hardware is mostly to do the fact that they want more subscriptions. But they don't generally care about what you people play. If you're paying $180 to play Call of Duty every year, Microsoft and Sony, they don't care. They're getting that money off you regardless. So even if you choose not to buy their games, they're going to get their money anyway. That's why I told you guys, we're in a subscription war. The hardware war is over, bro. Like you just said, I think they're going to put themselves in a corner. What corner are they going to put themselves in? You still bought the PS5. You're still going to continue to pay for Sony to play PS5 online. Where is Sony losing? You're like, oh, snap. Sony don't care. You're talking about your point of view. You think Sony cares? You're still paying to play these same games on PS5. Let me break it down one more time. PlayStation 6 come out. Oh, Sony, you charge $1,000, $1,200 for the PlayStation 6. I can't afford it. You know, Sony, you used to be a good company. You used to. You try to charge us 60 FPS for Intergalactico on the PS6. You should price it more reasonably. While you out here, and talking to your dumb friends online, I'm done with Sony. They charging too much money. Yeah, hey, I'm buying Neo. I'm buying Intergalactic. Oh, you buying on PS5, man? Yeah, I'm buying it on PS5. While you sitting there crying and mourning about like a big old dummy, and these companies are still like, suckers. You're still giving us money, sucker. That's what they're telling you, sucker. You're still giving them your money. I'm tired of PlayStation. I'm saying, my friend online. Yeah, I'm tired. These are the type of conversations they have when they're on game. Well, they don't even play games. They're on Twitter. I'm tired of Sony, man. I'm tired of them. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, how much you paying for that PlayStation? I'm paying for the premium though. So hold on. You're not getting the PlayStation 6 because it's more expensive. Yeah. I'm boycotting them. How are you boycotting them giving PlayStation premium money, though? You're like, oh, snap, you see? Yeah, I'm not buying no exclusives. All I'm doing, I'm not supporting Sony. I'm buying the NBA. I'm playing Grand Theft Auto 6. You're still giving them Sony your money because you got to pay to play the game online. This is why Sony and Microsoft don't care if you get the hardware. They don't care because they're still getting money off you dummies every single month. This is a you problem, and these companies are saying, you know what, if you can't afford a new product, well, you're going to be enjoying the inferior experience because we're not subsidizing anything because you people don't buy our games in the first place.
And I'm not even harping on the Nintendo Switch 1. I just think that a lot of people are not able to join next gen.
They don't care. They don't care. Because at the end of the day, the PlayStation 6, bro, you guys still don't get it, do you? You still don't get it. As long as you're a part of the ecosystem, which was what Microsoft was telling you, games still with another W, they don't care. They don't care. As long as they're getting money off you. You think they want to... There's some people still playing the Xbox 360 online. Oh, man, Microsoft need to lower their console. I can't even get an ad by one. Well, you're still paying Microsoft money to play that 360 games online. They're like, oh, snap games. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying now. I hope you do. I hope you see what I'm saying. Because if you don't, I'm at the roast your ass in the comment section. But you people are stupid. Oh, man, I can't afford a PlayStation 6 when you're giving Sony all your money on PlayStation 5. You not being able to afford the new hardware is a you problem. That's how these companies are seeing it. Just like with Nintendo owners not having access to GameCube games, even though they're paying the same amount of money for a feature that's not on the Switch 1. What do you don't understand, people? You're paying the same money and not getting a feature because you chose not to upgrade. Like, bro, you're still giving Nintendo your money for Pokemon and Metroid Prime. You're giving them your money, but you say you're boycotting. How are you boycotting if you're giving Nintendo your money? I'm gonna, Switch 2, I'm not supporting you. Hey, buddy, I'm gonna pick up Metroid Prime 4 and Pokemon for my Switch 1. you're still giving Nintendo your money. You do understand that, right? Huh?
The amount of people that at this point, if you don't have an Xbox Series X, the price keeps going up. It's now like $700 for an Xbox Series X. It's gotten almost $200 more expensive in the 5 years since launch. And I guess my fear is almost the fact that with devices continuing to get more and more pricey, what happens if the next gen Xbox costs $1,200? What if the Nintendo Switch 2 Pro, what if that costs $700? What if the next PlayStation, the PS6, what if that is $1,200?
Oh, well, you know what's funny? That's what happens when you call everybody brokies and say that they can't afford anything. That is a you problem. That's what you told people. You told people, I got a grown man system that I stand behind and I back. That's what you said. I buy exclusives. What about support the devs, right? Hey, guys, let's support the devs. Now, all of a sudden, you don't want to support them no more, huh? You got priced out, right? You see what you was advocating for on PlayStation with the games and the Pro, and now all of a sudden you're like, dang, this is too expensive. I can't afford it no more. You see?
Not only do I think those games won't sell, those consoles won't sell. They won't spread. It won't get hype.
It doesn't matter. I'm sorry, bro. If PlayStation want to keep PS4 online so they can continue, that's the reason why they haven't stopped supporting it. Because they're still getting money from it. You big dummy.
To me, feels like one of the biggest Xbox L's we've seen in a very long time. And it does
the biggest L that we've seen was that lousy state of play. No. Don't go ahead and try to point the finger, because at the end of the day, you can still buy the regular Ally. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, man. Hopefully you guys understand what I'm trying to say with this video, because sometimes I say things and people just don't get it, man. But I have a specific way of how I word things so everybody can understand it. So unless you're really in your personal feelings and you have a real personal issue or whatever, like I said, man, I explained it the best way that I can. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, take care. Peace out.